Hello and welcome to The Big Story with Danish on Niti Central. The 5 Indian fishermen were apprehended in 2011 and were sentenced to death by the Colombo High Court on October 30th for alleged drug trafficking. Now, this issue has become a hot issue in the Indian polity because the Tamilian parties are saying that the centre government is not doing anything. My guest today to talk about it, who has been to Sri Lanka quite often and knows the politics of Tamil Nadu and the situation of Sri Lanka, he considers India and Sri Lanka to be good friends. My guest is Dr Subramanian Swamy. Dr Swamy, welcome to the program.
Sure.
The current situation is that the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that India would grow and bring them back. Indian envoy Yash Sinha also met the fishermen in jail.
Yes.
But the opposition parties, the Tamilian parties are saying that the centre is not.
No, all parties are in Tamil Nadu.
Even
BJP.
MDMK founder Vaiko is saying.
You mean Tamil fringe parties, not Tamil parties. We are all Tamilians. I am a Tamilian too.
I know. So what is the situation that what is exactly the current situation?
What I have proposed in my letter to the Prime Minister as well as to the President of Sri Lanka is on 9th of September 2010, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Manmohan Singh, and the President of Sri Lanka, Rajapaksa, signed a treaty which is called Transfer of Sentenced Persons Treaty. And that treaty says that if any citizen of India is sentenced in a court in Sri Lanka, or any citizen of Sri Lanka is sentenced in a court in India, both countries can come into an agreement to transfer that person for further proceedings like appeal and so on to their respective countries. So there was one Sri Lankan Tamil who was condemned to be hanged by a sessions court in Chennai, and he was transferred to Sri Lanka. Now these people have been so far sentenced by only a single judge. There is a double judge division bench appeal available and then to the Supreme Court. So my proposal to them was that you transfer them to a jail in India. Preferably in North India, like Bihar jail, and then let them appeal to the High Court and the Supreme Court sitting in India, and then we can, there'll be a better environment for prosecuting them. They have been carrying drugs, well, they'll have to suffer punishment. But if the evidence is weak, then they will be able to be freed by Indian courts. That's what I had suggested, and Nitin has paraphrased it differently, and he's my friend, of course, and he knows what I'm saying is always based on after study. Now, unfortunately, the hardline Tamil parties, which I call the Tamil fringe parties, they are very upset with this because I'm known as a very strong advocate of Indo-Sri Lanka friendship.
Right.
So, in fact, I admire the president because he eliminated and finished off LTT, which was a national security threat for us. So India and Sri Lanka should be friends. We are cultural siblings. On that basis, I've been supportive of Sri Lanka. So these fringe groups, they don't like this at all. And so they are moving heaven.
Why are they so apprehended about it?
Because they think that I represent all the things that they have stood against. Nationalism, they've been secessionists. Then there's this hatred for Brahmins that they have. They think that the Brahmins, they would Sanskritize Tamil Nadu's culture. All these, there are lots of fears. The British have filled their brains with all kinds of poison, which we have not yet detoxified. So their fear, the normal Brahmin is very passive, quiet, a little bit cowardly, I think, in Tamil Nadu. But I am an exception. So they can't bear this thought. So most of the thing is this visceral hatred of me as a Brahmin.
Okay. So you mean to say that, it's more of a personal fight rather than about our fishermen in Sri Lanka?
Yeah. If supposing some Dravidian came up with this idea, but they're all illiterate, they're all cinema walas, no? They don't read the law, they don't know anything about the law. But if supposing some Dravidian person, like say this Dravidian movement person like Vaiko had come up with what I said, they would have celebrated him as a hero. But because I said it, that means I am an existential threat to them. And I stand for the negation of everything they have stood for the last 40 years.
Right. Dr. Swamy, then will the Indian fishermen, because the MEA is working closely with the government of Sri Lanka, I heard the spokesperson saying that we will make sure that the fishermen come back to India. Now,
no, they are not working for that. They are working for giving good legal...
good advice to them.
So that they can appeal in the Sri Lankan court. That I don't think is a workable proposition in my opinion, because the Indians here will never accept that this is a fair trial and a fair judgment.
So, okay, writing a letter, would you write, something again to the President of Sri Lanka and asking them
No, I'm been invited to Sri Lanka, so I'm there on November 24 for 3 days, and I'm bound to try and clinch it then.
Right, okay. Dr. Swamy, on that note, thank you very much for the time you've given me.
Bye.
Bye, sir.